How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to some more Tainted Grail. So, look a little different, and that's because I am now rocking a new outfit. The Arcanists set, which has more than double the armor that I had on before. It does require, I believe, 14 spirituality. And I'm also rocking the Scorching Blaze, which is more like a bigger heavy damage projectile, and a better drain, life transfusion. So I've been exploring this whole area, dying quite a few times. There's some hard enemies. There is a bounty right here that you can get that set from. So I've got him. I'm guessing I'm going to turn him in here in town because I couldn't turn the head back into the other bounty guy. I also found the alchemist over here, and he asked me to look into this house, which opened up more quests way up here that we'll get to much later. So with that, I also opened up the other gate, and now we're going to continue on to the main quest. Head this way and see what happens. So hopefully this makes it a little easier with this new armor setup. Oh, and my stats as well. So now I'm 14 spirituality, which I think I'm going to stay with for now unless I need something. I think I need to put more into health and possibly start putting some into these two. I've also got these. My summons are now these two assassins, which you can buy those. Before I forget, I bought them from a red priest who is sitting right here on a rock. And they seem to be pretty OP. Alright. So it says we need to head this way for the main quest. Alright, not sure what's going on here. Alrighty.
Don't even say that. Someone comes, lights them in here, and then dies on all watch? People would be at my door with pitchforks.
Help him up, Ansem. Welcome to my home. Quite a scene unfolded at the men here, with you at the heart of it. I can't decide if I'm more delighted or surprised. What was it that made the men here react to you? I see. You have a habit of not taking things seriously, don't you? But this is no trivial matter, so
He thinks I'm
I
joking.
demand respect. Come now. You must have a theory. The local men here have been rather lifeless for quite some time. Then you come along, breathe life into what was dead, and whether
What's
you
a
meant to or
menhir?
not, alter the course of our history. That's how I see it anyway. Tell me, do you know what this menhir represents?
Dude, I don't even know what it is. Statues that ward off the weirdness Merlin built. I only know how they affect me. They ward off the weirdness. Some say they were here before humans.
Is that so? That would be quite the discovery. The people of Avalon still believe the legend that Merlin, under King Arthur's command, raised the menhirs to protect us from the mist that spawns monsters. But none of this matters in our current situation. Here, the menhir represents something more. For some, it's a symbol of freedom and independence. Strength, if you will. It shows that the people of Cuanacht, my subjects, can face any challenge, even at the world's end. And for others, like our guest from Kamelot, whom I'm sure you've seen, it's a symbol of power. Power once granted by King Arthur, and therefore by Kamelot. And power that has been granted can be taken away. Officially, they say they want to gather all the men here scattered across Avalon, set them around Camelot, and bring people there to ensure their safety. That is, if they can figure out how to restore the power of the men here. I don't think we know each other well enough to speak on unofficial terms. I'm well aware. And now we're also facing an outbreak of the Red Death, which will no doubt influence Camelot's decision on whether to
What's
offer
the
my
Red
people
Death?
shelter. But with the men here reignited, the people of Cuanacht will be even less willing to give up and go to Camelot. If anything, I expect rebellion to break out, and bloodshed is something neither we nor the capital want. Palamedes' shield, you say? An unusual request. That shield rests beneath the men here. And legend has it that it used to fuel its power for centuries. I don't mind if you look at it, touch it, whatever you need. Just don't take it. It's a treasured relic, and the people of Cuanacht are quite attached to it. And you're
I'm gonna
probably
take it
just
in
as
the end.
attached to your head, which you'll lose if we catch you trying to steal the shield. I want you to speak with Denholm and try to calm him down. With the men here active again, everything could change. I don't know, to be honest. It's not something I could admit publicly, but I feel both sides have a point. I understand the people who don't want to abandon their homeland, and I understand the knights who must face a long-lost terror and find a solution to an impossible problem. Believe me, being a lord in times like these is a heavy burden. If you need anything, speak to Ansem.
Alright, so a whole bunch of stuff just happened with that cutscene. Okay, so we've got the main quest still. For the shield. And we gotta talk to this guy.
If I just stay put, everything will be just fine.
Alright, well, let's go talk to everybody.
need
If they
something?
give us lots of side quests.
Ah, a new face. I am Anselm, Major Domo to Lord Yvain. Any business to be done in Cuanacht usually passes through my hands first. From managing the court's affairs to ensuring Cuanacht doesn't collapse under its own weight, it's my duty to keep things running smoothly. Not an easy task, given the times. And you? What brings you here? Wandering so close to the heart of Cuanacht's business. You don't strike me as the idle type. Challenging doesn't begin to describe it. The court is the heart of Cuanacht, and if it falters, the rest follows. That's a heavy weight to bear. But if I'm honest, it's the plague that keeps me awake at night. I've seen what it does, how it spreads, how it steals lives without mercy. I lost my family to it. The only reason I'm still here is because I was locked away at court while they were quarantined. Since then, protecting this place, keeping it safe, has been more than a duty. It's been everything. Life at court is a delicate dance. It's calm on the surface, but underneath, there's always tension. Managing affairs, settling disputes, keeping the wheels turning. It's not for the faint of heart. Lord Yvain means well, but he makes decisions slowly, too slowly sometimes. Not that I complain. It's a role I've accepted, and one I'll carry out for as long as I'm needed. It's a quiet kind of chaos, but one we must master, for the sake of Cuanacht and those who call it home. Be well.
Alright, so no side quests there. Just check this place out before you leave.
I should stay out of trouble.
Do you need something?
A lot of these soldiers around, but you can't talk to any of them.
Stay quiet, stay safe.
What
Yeah.
is it?
Let's leave for now. Check this town out. Okay, so we got like the Lord's Manor. Alright, so we got the Lord's Manor, and then the main town down there. Well, it's hard to miss the big statue in the middle. Morag?
Oi, you there, Sleeping Beauty. I saw them carrying you into Yvain's mansion. You feeling better now? Good. Would have been a shame if something happened to the one who lit up the menhir. No wonder they brought you straight here. Tell me, did you get to see our lord? Or just that snake of his, Anselm? Sorry, stranger. I meant no offense. Name's Morag. I'm the innkeeper around here, though, as you've probably seen, there's not much of an inn left to keep. Truth is, I was hoping that, with what happened at the menhir and all, you might have Lord Yvain's ear. And maybe you'd be kind enough to whisper a thing or two into it on my behalf? Because he doesn't bother listening to us common folk, even when our livelihoods are at stake. If we're lucky, we get to air our grievances to Anselm, but wait for the Lord's decision is always his answer. How long can we wait? We're not some lazy nobles. We don't just get to put our lives on hold. We've got to eat, damn it. Kamelot shut down my inn. Said it was because of the Red Death, but the Red Priests have been here for ages, and they never had a problem with my place. And last I checked, Yvain's still our lord, not one of those Camelotians. What gives them the right to meddle in our business? I know. I was here when the outbreak hit. Lost some of my best patrons. But the Red Priests have it under control now. Every new case gets carted straight to the asylum, and we haven't had one in a good while. I tried talking to the Camelotians. They told me to piss off. Now Yvain's my only hope. I thank you straight, damn bastards come in. I'll wait here for...
Alright, we're just gonna collect all the side quests in this episode. Not gonna get started on any of them.
Welcome to my home, stranger. Whatever brings you here, know that the Langfords were always known for hospitality. Even in times like these. Sit down. This is precisely what you should expect from the Langfords. This place has seen better days, sure. Used to be full of people. Now no one bothers. Not since things turned sour. But it's still mine. I was born here, and I'll die here. Let those damn Camelotians try and drag me out. That said, do you have anything we could drink? Finally! Someone with proper manners. But never mind all that. What's the word out there? Still cheering and selling cabbages while the world rots beneath their feet? They happened to themselves. Misfortune, betrayal, weakness. By the time it all landed on me, the gold was gone, and somehow I'm the one everyone points at. And go where? Wander the roads like some beggar? My family has lived in this town for centuries. I'd rather be crushed beneath the stones my forefathers placed here than abandon them. Survive as what? A nobody scraping by, begging favors. Better to die remembered here than live forgotten out there. All alone? Not quite. There's one left. A servant. Stays up in that shed on the roof. She doesn't talk much, though. She's probably waiting for me to croak, so she can sell the place first. But she'll be waiting a while. My uncle's betrayal is what started it all. He convinced my father to invest the family fortune in a new mining venture in the northern hills. He said the ore will make us wealthier than ever. Then the vultures descended. Merchants calling in debts. Neighbors turning their backs. My father died of grief. And I inherited nothing. The Camelotians? Upstarts and pretenders, the lot of them. And now they strut about, issuing orders about the weirdness coming. Have you now? Convenient. Listen, stranger. Fog and strange lights don't make a catastrophe. The Langfords have documented them for generations. What you saw was probably just marsh gas or one of the old ruins shifting. They've manipulated you, just as they try to manipulate everyone. But I know better. Leaving already? Well, I suppose that's to be expected. Go on,
Dude,
then.
I just gave you wine. Why you gotta be a jerk? Alright, let's go check this person that lives on top of his house.
A visitor. Let me guess. You've been chatting with the last great Langford downstairs? I could hear his booming voice from up here. Always the same stories, the same complaints. Sell it? To whom? This place is worth nothing but memories and rot. And if I wanted him dead, I wouldn't have spent 30 years cooking his meals and washing his clothes. So, I've heard he told you about the betrayal, the mine, his poor father dying of grief. So, I've heard he told you there was a mine. That much is true. But it wasn't his uncle's idea to dig. It was his. The last great Langford heir, barely 20 and already gambling away the family for the mine was his desperate attempt to recover his losses. He ignored all the warnings, water pockets, old miners who refused to work there. He hired desperate folk who, when it collapsed, 27 miners died, and not a single coin was spent on their families. He blames everyone for his family's downfall, except himself. Sir Senric was a good man. He didn't die of grief. He died trying to make things right. Traveled to every family that lost someone, offering what compensation he could. Worked himself to exhaustion trying to salvage the family name. The night he died, our noble heir downstairs was passed out drunk in the gambling halls of Kamelot. Didn't even attend his father's funeral. The Kamelotians offered to help. Some lady wanted to pay half of his debts out of respect for his father. There were 12 of us left when things got bad. Loyal folk who stayed even when the pay stopped. For months, we used our own savings to keep food on the table. Then winter came, and the food stores were empty. The old groundskeeper froze to death in his cottage because the Lord needed the firewood. Yet only I remained.
Alright, where's this going? Obviously he's a jerk. What's
Not
the quest?
for him, for the promises I made to his father. 30 years I've waited for that day. He knows it's real. Sometimes at night, but to admit that it's real. Last week, it took whatever you decide. I've packed my things. I fulfilled my promise for long enough.
Alright, so tell her to leave. Convince him to leave with you.
And why would I want to leave with him? That's the cruel truth of it, but you're right.
Okay. So do I have to go talk to him now? Hopefully this goes somewhere here.
Something. Back so soon? That old crow probably took... not this nonsense again. This house has stood for generations.
Oh man, I can't do any of it. I need 15.
Begging. This is go.
So I would need another level. I would need spirituality at 15 to be able to convince him. Alright, well, if he's still there when I hit 15, I'll come back and see him. Oh, nighttime. That was quick. Okay, we did get a side quest from that. Alright, let's... got a lot to see here. Go look at the statue first. The men here. Oh, wait a minute. What just happened? Oh, that's cool. There's 2 levels to this whole town. This place is huge. Alright, let's go back up. Okay, so how do I get up there? Here, maybe? Here we go. Pull out. Said they'll kill me if I pull it out, though. Alright, let's save it first in case something bad happens.
This is my shield, but there's no part of my soul inside. We need to look somewhere else. But I can feel the missing part. Close. Maybe it's the men here. Maybe it needs something from us.
Okay, so that's a fake shield. Find a real shield. Alright, let's go. Oh my gosh, there's a stash. Cool. Let's go talk to this guy, and then we will wrap this episode up because we're getting long. Oh, nice. Travel point. Okay, that's the closed tavern. And here is my stash.